Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another very special episode of Idiots Debate, where today we are discussing Danny Phantom.
Versus Chamber.
And the great thing about this is neither of us know that much about the other one, so we'll try to explain in as much depth as we can and give a good overview of powers and possibly feats, and then do some ad hominem attacks where we go one on one and talk shit about the other character, and then finally discuss stipulations for a battle and the result. So, if you're interested and you're excited, click that like button. And without further ado, here we go. So, starting off, Danny Phantom. He's a phantom. Thank you for watching. No, I'm just kidding. That's pretty much it. He's a half ghost. He's a half boy. I think they explain it as like plasma powers, but I think that was before the scientific community was like as familiar with the fourth state of matter, which is plasma, which is a state of energy that is so hot in temperature the electrons are literally in a liquid state, like they're blaring off of the nucleus. They're not attached. That's how it was explained to me in astronomy. So he's got plasma powers. He can fly. He can go invisible. He can go through doors and through solid objects and stuff. And on top of that, his parents are like the Ghostbusters. So if we're talking about teams, if we do bring up during the stipulations of battle, it's not just half a ghost, half dude. He's got this like whole organization that his family is a part of, and he eventually gets part of that. And also the villains he defeats are supernatural and scientific in nature. It's like some Doctor Strange shit. So I think that there's some fairly powerful battles and scale. But before I just wank Danny to infinity over here, I'd rather hear a little bit about your guy.
All right, so let me tell you about Chamber. Chamber is the product of thousands and thousands of years and generations of war in space against a alien species, perfecting weaponry and technology. Basically, if humans went to space and had generation after generation of like systematic war, our entire society was like devoted to it. You're only valuable if you're a warrior. That's where Chamber came from. So he's I guess he's a machine caliber, so basically like a mech suit. But he's built with his own AI system called the Pilot Enlightenment Interface System. And he's got pretty much any weapon you can imagine. He has gravity manipulation. He has lasers that come out of every part of his body. He has missiles. He has plasmic ray guns. He's like the most advanced piece of war machinery you could ever imagine. I guess through his backstory a little bit is he's partnered with pilot Ensign Leto, who eventually makes it back to Earth by accidentally falling out the side of a temporal rift or a wormhole. And then Ensign and Leto kind of have to figure out how to like live on Earth with old humans who aren't entirely devoted to war. So his team is a little bit less, but I'm going to say his teammate would probably be his pilot, Ensign Leto. But he can fight without him, too,
Yeah.
Still an AI.
Okay, so they can team up. And the wormhole is definitely a fascinating thing that I think comes up a little bit in Danny Phantom, but it's more like dimensional portals than it is, which I guess is similar to a wormhole. But instead of traveling through time and space within the same dimension, it's kind of traveling between dimensions. And I'm realizing now that plasma that I was saying, it's like ectoplasm actually.
Ectoplasm.
So
okay, that makes a little bit more sense.
It's like it's like theoretical substance, ethereal substance, and but there is still like aspects of it that is like plasma. It's like he shoots like green beams from his hands and stuff, and
all right.
He can still fly and do all that. The other aspect, I guess, which I don't know how important it is for a battle, but it's certainly important to the characters, is I'm pretty sure Danny's in high school. And he has like girlfriend drama and a best friend, and like I said, his mom and dad too are like part of these like ghost busting society. I don't know what it's actually called, so forgive me, but that's just also an interesting concept of it too, because I'm watching over Invincible, and it's just like something you don't think about except for when it's there, it's really relatable in our stories. So Invincible, he was in high school, and now he's in college, and like having a hard time maintaining a social life and being with his girlfriend because he's saving the world all the time. And we get cool stories, but it's like, how does that impact his growth and his, what does he have to sacrifice? And Spider-Man's a big part of that too. So
you're saying his emotional weaknesses are making him more susceptible to Chambers' awesomeness? That's what I'm hearing.
I'm
That he
saying
stands
that
no
Danny
chance.
Phantom has emotional levers.
Okay.
And I'm wondering what are some of the character either defects or bonds that Chamber has, or if that's even part of the world, or if it's
Oh no,
just
it
all
totally
savage.
is. So like Chamber is devoted to Ensign Leto. He's his pilot interface or pilot enlightenment interface system, and so Chamber is always deferent to Ensign Leto and always there to assist him. He always is coming up with like postulates. They talk a lot, and Chamber really does fulfill his role as like a human companion. So he's like, although he isn't going to be like at all capable of questioning his loyalty to Ensign Leto or anything like that, he definitely does have like emotional traits, although I wouldn't say they're weaknesses just because he's still a cold robotic AI. But in the end, he does learn to insult other AIs. He's just
So
like,
wait,
you guys
Ensign
aren't-
Leto
yeah.
is the AI?
No, Ensign Leto is his pilot.
Oh, so you're saying that the AI is the most badass?
Yeah.
Well, I think I can end this debate fairly quickly.
Well, what? Huh?
Hey, are you ready?
Yeah.
It's motherfucking 4 words, bitch.
What?
That's how fast I had to say it. Ghost in the Machine.
No way.
Yeah, way.
Show me precedents. Show me when he's taken over a machine.
Keep talking.
All right. And I would have to argue that because Chamber is such a sufficient or such a powerful thinking machine, he's inherently an automaton in and of himself. He can function entirely independently. And in fact, another Machine Caliber does get teleported to Earth with them, and its pilot dies, and the Machine Caliber goes rogue and ends up being the main villain in the whole series because it's only coldly calculating things from a machine's point of view. And then Chamber learns humanity and fights that other machine, even though it's more advanced and wins.
Well, they made a Tuckbot 9000, which is a robot, Danny.
Well, Danny's not inside the robot.
But here's the other thing. Then he has a very powerful ghost robot that he does defeat.
No way,
Yes,
dude.
and he destroys him. So if he can be a ghost and a robot, your little bitch ass robot that's got little heat sensors, and it doesn't have any EMPs or nothing, it's just gonna get taken over by Danny. He's gonna be like, and shut that bitch down, and the pilot's gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna starve in here.
No way.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
We've already established that the AI inside of Chamber is way too powerful to be taken over, and therefore,
What is it? Well, how is it way too powerful? What is like the system that's like so advanced that Danny couldn't like hack it or I guess take control of it? Ghost in the Machine.
I guess because that isn't a problem in the Gargantua universe, I can't cite exact precedents, but I think it's because Chamber's like his own individual life form, you know what I mean? Once you've seen the show, you can't deny that Chamber is alive.
And
if
that's
you
like
can't-
part of
you-
the questions of the show.
Yeah, and you can't
But here's the point.
control something that's already alive.
Can we agree that people can be controlled, like possessed? If we already presuppose the supernatural elements of the
Not
ghost
by
story.
him, and I don't even think
Oh
that,
yeah.
that he in and
Oh.
of himself, maybe he can possess people, but he can't possess robots. There's no
So here's my
precedent for the
point.
show.
I just explained.
Okay.
First of all, but here is my point. If I can possess a person, that's probably more difficult than possessing a machine. Because of their soul and their consciousness versus the programming of the AI. Even
Or
if
is
you're
it easier because there's no hardline absolute will that must be obeyed?
Whoa, that's a good question. But I probably lean towards the side of it's easier to program the programmable versus override the unpredictable, which is what a possession is. They're overriding the unpredictable, which is the human being.
Well, let's say Danny Phantom could even get close to Chamber.
Oh, every day. What are you gonna hit him with?
I don't know, plasma. Since he's already in a plasmic state, I
You
assume
think
that
homie's
he
got
would.
plasma?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay,
for sure.
so you're gonna match energy states, assuming that you can get to him, like speed feats included. You're saying you're as fast and that you can.
Chamber can travel at thousands
Anti-gravity?
of miles an hour and is capable of independent interplanetary spaceflight, if not interstellar.
When you're a ghost, you're not worried about time and space and energy and friction and conservation of mass.
Oh yes, but he's already made a plasma, so he has to be able to interact with plasma. Which
I'm
means
sorry, I didn't mean
Chambers'
to say
energy
plasma.
weapons-
Ectoplasm.
Chambers' energy weapons
It's
are going
an
to disrupt that
ectoplasmic.
and destroy him. He'll target him 100 miles away and launch a barrage of attacks long before he's ever seen.
I think Danny Phantom puts your boy in the sun. If he survives the flight. He's a Phantom.
Can Danny do that even?
In my
Has he
head
ever put anyone in there?
in
You're
my
just
head
making stuff
canon,
up.
he can. In my head canon, he's the Superman of this argument.
And Chamber can manipulate gravity. He has gravitational wave influencers, so he can.
That is sick, actually.
Yeah,
But what if you're not affected by gravity?
I don't know.
Friction?
That's a good question because he is a ghost. So he can clearly, he's Phantom-esque. He's probably immune to gravity.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, not only are you vulnerable because there's AI component, which I would have already went to the possession element if it was just the person, but the fact that you did the AI component, goes to the machine, it's like, it's over, bro.
Look how badass he is. This is him fighting. He has these halos that generate over his head.
Yeah, it does look fire, and the proportions are absolutely. You gotta show the crowd for sure. The proportions are absolutely bonkers, but I just don't see him getting past D-boy, honestly. So just to spice the argument a little bit, so it's not just so back and forth about this. What are some outside elements that we could add from either the worlds of each of our universes or the teams that are particular to our?
This is where my boy falls down because he does. If you're facing the entire Galactic Federation, the last hope of humanity locked in constant war.
It's over.
I think
Even for a Phantom?
Oh yeah, they could like destroy stars and stuff. They're just like bloop.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Stars? Oh shit.
they're badass. They've been locked in war for thousands of years in space. Since they left Earth, they've been
That's
locked in war with
fucking
the Hide.
dope.
Which actually, the Hide are humans too. Basically, though, I don't want to ruin it because it's such a good show.
Just say spoiler warning.
Spoiler warning, for reals. But the Hide, which you learn at the very end, are actually humans too. They just, when Earth's environment collapsed, a lot of people fled to space, and a lot of people transformed themselves into these squid-like creatures that could survive in space. And then the Federation hated the people that transformed themselves, and they were got locked in constant war. Hide evolved to be super powerful kind of physical beings that could just live in space and like transform themselves and are capable of all these insane biological functions, and the humans just rode their technology and continued to develop weaponry. And then they've been, since they left Earth, they've been locked in constant war. And then the people that remained on Earth that got left behind, one group of them became the squids, which now produce all energy on Earth through some sort of plankton or something. And then the humans just kind of live on the surface and have floating fortresses and float around.
Wow.
Yeah. And they harvest the ocean floor for all the technology of the old.
Yeah, see, the world of that definitely seems more like advanced and crazy versus Danny Phantom, but it's just like, if we're just talking one-on-one and I'm trying to think of like logistically how they would interact, because obviously one's a kid's show and one's like a badass anime. But I think, yeah, if we brought in, is there like squads that they're a part of?
There is, but they're only for the first episode because it's not about the war between the Hide and humans. It's about Ensign Leto finding himself back on Earth and then learning how to adjust from being in a culture where like his only purpose was as a soldier.
Can we see a picture of him?
Yeah. He
So-
just looks like a random anime character.
Yeah, but this is just, I think it's fascinating, and I like the vehicle AI aspect, and the companionship that you're talking about as well, and it makes you question Chambers' humanity. I just want to get more about their symbiotic relationship, and maybe if he has more of a squad-based relationship, if it's kind of like Power Rangers type shit. I don't know. But I know that Danny's a Phantom.
That's Ensign Leto, the pilot.
He's an edgelord.
No, he's a seriously hardcore
He's a fucking edgelord.
warrior, dude. He's only been known war his entire
He
life.
looks like Ken Koneke's brother.
He kind of does.
So, I mean, I guess for our idiot score, we'll just have to what do you think? Like, do you think that it's just unsolvable?
I don't know. I think it's really going to boil down to whether or not physical weapons can hurt a ghost, and whether a ghost can take over AI. Because if
I think it's
physical weapons can't hurt a ghost, and a ghost can't take over AI, then it's kind of...
Except for the fact that he can pick your shit up and take it in the atmosphere.
But so he's designed for space travel.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Is he designed for
Mech. The mech is.
star survival?
Oh, yeah. I mean, maybe not inside of a star.
Yeah, that's why we're gonna throw him in the sun.
Danny Phantom wins. Danny Phantom is stronger.
Throws him in the sun.
I don't think Danny Phantom is stronger.
Too bad.
You're too bad. No,
Leave
you're
down
too
in the
bad.
comments. Leave down in the comments. We have no idea. We're idiots. We're debating.
Fair enough.
But it was a fun stuff. Leave down in the comments too, down below, what are some battles that you'd be interested in. We would love to check those out. Not too much of a spoiler, but we got a little bit of a teaser. Danny Phantom, Nickelodeon. It's all right. Gonna have to represent with my boy Cartoon Network next time. We're bringing Ben 10. We're gonna do the research.
Ben 10
We're gonna have the facts
versus a fully crewed Star Destroyer.
Okay, that's going to be too easy. So we'll just do a short about that. But we'll see you on the next one. Click the like button, subscribe, leave that comment, click the bell notification so you never miss an upload. We appreciate all the support, guys. And without further ado, have yourselves a wonderful day. Peace.